Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation, with an unboxing from AppMex. Yes, indeed, this is a gold unboxing. When the gold prices took a bit of a dip, I wanted to jump in on something that I kind of had my eye out on, based off of one of you, the viewers, who inspired me to get this, as well as the silver version of it. So let's take a look and see what exactly this package entails as we tear it open here. Alright. Inside of which we have got plastic bag, a package within a package, typically is the case here. We are going to slice it open. Alright, very good. And I can hear it rattling around in there. Is always a good thing. Proving me a bit more difficult to get open than I thought. There we go. Alright, it is the Gold Swan for 2020. All right, very good. Now, this is a series that I'm not collecting. However, I did get the very first Gold Swan from 2017, which was the inaugural issue. Since then, they've released two other versions. But this is quite fascinating here. This, from AppMex, it says, in April 2017, the Perthman introduced the Swan series. The first release sold out within 2 days. After similar success with the second and third releases, the Mint has introduced an elegant fourth design featuring a beautiful depiction of a swan with its wings outstretched. Similar to the previous releases, this new design is available in limited mintages of 1 ounce 4/9 fine silver and 1 ounce 4/9 fine gold. And I believe this is actually limited to a mintage of 5,000 for this particular coin. And I believe the silvers are 25,000. But one thing's for sure, unmistakable quality with the Perth Mint. And boy, you can really, even in the capsule, you can feel the weight of this thing. It is just absolutely phenomenal. But the Gold Swan, indeed, by the Perth Mint. And the reason why I got this year, you may have remembered when I posted a video about the design, and I was thoroughly impressed with this design, because as graceful as the Swan is, especially in that first year, I think that really illustrated the beauty and the grace of the Swan. This shows a different view, almost like an aggressive, as the Swan comes in for a landing on the water. The water, you can see, is kind of disturbed by the landing of the bird, or the bird is about to take off. Either way, I think it is quite symbolic, not only because the swan is the symbol for the Perth Mint. In fact, you can see it here in the logo on this card. That is the Perth Mint logo there. That's a swan. But I've heard that this is an actual black swan, and it's quite apropos considering we did have a Black Swan event this year with the COVID-19 coronavirus, and that has upset the apple cart in many different ways, not only in this country, in the United States, but around the world, including Australia. So this is indeed quite symbolic for this year, and I love the design, and so I figured I would get the gold and silver versions of these. And so that is why this has been procured here. But it is a stunning design indeed. And I think it'll be a good memory for what this year was all about. The Black Swan event, and the fact that it's just a beautiful design. Simplistic, just showing the bird here in its sort of reverse proof and standard fare for what the Perth Mint is known for. But one thing you'll notice that is constant throughout this series, and I think the Perth Mint does a great job of this, and that is that it has the sort of the band here where the words are written there behind that mirror background, and the letters raised up in a frosted version, but the design continues beyond that with a gap, so you can see the water and the gap behind the version there, behind the bird, behind that band. And then you see here the wing too extends out, as you can see there, beyond the band there. But what's not the same is the background, which is frosted, is not frosted beyond that band, as you would maybe expect it to be, but that is the case with all of them. We have a new effigy this year, or I think actually, I'm not sure if they had this effigy on last year's Swan or not, but nonetheless, I think this is a very nice effigy of the Queen, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and then the year of issue of 2020, Australia, and $100. I think this side would have been better served, as I believe with the prior years too, if the lettering would have been mirror finished rather than containing the same frosted background. I think it would have stood out a lot better, because this side has that contrast with the lettering, except it is frosted. So I think that would have been that would have been the one thing I would change on this coin. Otherwise, the actual quality with Perth Mint, you really don't have to doubt it or have to be concerned or stressed as the package is on its way to you, especially for gold, that there's going to be any issues. And so this I got on a dip when the gold price dipped, and their premiums for these were basically what you normally would find on regular bullion, even though this I would consider better bullion with a limited mintage. But a limited mintage of 5,000 is really not considered all that limited when it comes to gold, because not a lot of people are buying gold. But I think these are getting close to being sold out if they've not already. I've not checked as of the reception of this package, but I knew I wanted to get this thing before there was a sellout, because again, inspired by several people in the community had mentioned this, that said, hey, you should get one of these, if anything but for the symbolism, but also because you are adding more to your central bank, being your own central bank when you get gold, and 1 more ounce of gold is all the more empowering in these tough economic times, and it's much more difficult to get an ounce these days, for sure. So I wanted to try to see if I could do that to get another ounce of gold here, so that we could make that mark here. But fascinating indeed. The 1 ounce Australian gold Swan, beautiful coin, and it's something that I think will certainly serve as a memory for these times. Post, what are your thoughts about the Swan series in general, and this coin in particular? And are you collecting these? Are you getting the golds as well as the silvers? And would you be inclined to get one for this year? Since this is sort of a Black Swan event, either in gold or silver. Let me know your thoughts below. I would like to extend to all of you a multitude of gratitude for taking the time to watch this video, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.